All right, y'all. So we taking a little visit to Old Headville. You feel me? So we got Judge Mathis, and that's no offense. My bad. That's no offense to anybody who's of older demographic who watches me. Let's go. So we got Judge Mathis and his son Greg respond to Judge Joe Brown homophobic comments. Now, what's crazy is that I was thinking that these was both the same person. Like, I swear, I've been like, as I grew up watching Judge Joe Mathis and Judge Joe Brown, I thought they was the same person almost. But then I realized as I was watching these clips, I was like, oh, but I like Judge Joe Mathis a little more. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. But yeah, so let's see what's going on here. Let's see what they got to say.
He was down there. He's one of those shows that makes low-level commercial money and you can keep on forever, and he was amenable to pushing the rainbow cult. So he did that. See, what they do is they'd invite you to parties, and you go to the party, you first get in this, and oh man, look at all the beautiful women, and then wait a minute, what's that going on over there? It's a no. And you pull your cell phone out, baby, what you doing? Look here, I'm leaving this set. Let me drop by and pay you a visit. So I'm getting the hell out of here. And then they start inviting you back. You go back to them, not me. And see, they'd get you caught up in there and get trapped if you fell into that. He was down there. He's one of they take your belt off, help you pull your britches down, your boxes, and bend you over, and you'd be part of the initiate. That's a catechism, and you'd be helping that out so they could poison the minds of America with "you have no purpose, you have no cause, get rid of your masculinity, be emotional," and doing stuff. I refuse.
Okay, hold on. So I just want to react to that real quick. So, you have no cause, you have no purpose, be emotional, get rid of your masculinity. So that's what they feel like is going on. That's what they feel like the attack is on masculinity. Being emotional is going to really hurt this world, huh? That's going to really destroy mankind by men being a little emotional, more in touch with their emotions and being more mature emotionally is a problem. Interesting. Let's continue.
Refuse to get involved with that social scene in Hollywood because it's just poisonous. Just completely poisonous, and they have an agenda. So, yeah, that's Mathis. He can take his punk self somewhere else and go deal with his rainbow fixation. All his children rainbow, man, what have you not been doing? They're so sensitive. But anyhow.
So before I let you go, any last words for Judge Joe Brown?
Okay, hold on. I don't really have much of a response. Y'all, this demographic, most of those people in that age group are cooked. They are stuck in their ways. It's almost a waste of my time to even address it, but I will say, so I was just kind of I responded to a comment that was talking about that basically in my comments, where a guy was saying the same thing Judge Joe Brown was saying. Okay, we are abominations because we are playing into the hand of the agenda to turn black men gay, emotional, sensitive, soft, right? So they brought up, making mothers single women was a part of the agenda to make a bunch of guys gay, to where we would basically ruin our family structure as black, families, the man and woman structure and everything, and reproduction, and, that's all that they basically be saying. So I wanted to react to that, to the people who do think like that, because I feel like a lot of haters come to my channel, and a lot of them are a part of that, people who think like that. So this is what I'm gonna say, just like I told the dude in my comments. The agenda was really just to throw the black family structure off and black people off, period. So that we did not rise against the system and challenge it, all right? What that means is that could go any way. Rather we are degenerates, thugs, etc., which is what the majority of straight black men are nowadays, or you be gay and you don't reproduce, you don't, do anything. They make gay people's. That's why I feel like they try to make our self-esteem so low, because if we don't believe that we can start families and everything, then yeah, that will create body of people who are really super lost and they can control us more and etc. Now, this is my opinion on that and what I've observed. Straight black people think that being gay is what the cause of this issue is, but they don't address the degeneracy, the sexy red, the NBA young boy, the little baby, the little, all the little fuck shit that we normalize in this community, not raising our kids, being bum ass niggas, being thoughts, being hoes, all we got is our body and everything, like selling out, snaking our fellow black man. As long as we getting what we want, we'll throw a nigga under the bus quick, like etc. Thug shit, going to jail, not wanting to provide, not wanting to be a man, etc. That all is what a lot of the straight community is doing. So it's not about straight or gay. We're all one. And no, not just black people. We're all one. But we have to start at black people getting on one accord, because we are the ones who are at the bottom when it comes to all races, okay? All the systematic oppression has worked, and what we're seeing is the result of that. However, straight people with this old school mindset are stuck and they're half-ass woke, because they do know that, there is an agenda against us as people, period, just to oppress us and keep us down. But instead of them keeping it like that, they want to go into this whole, bigotry thing and say, because, gay people doing this, gay people doing that, they causing this, they causing that, they're making it to where we're less than and everything else. That's not the case. We're already less than, okay? Regardless of how the cookie crumble down, straight black men in mass are not shit. Gay black men in mass really have a lot of work to do. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of blame shifting and pointing the finger, and it's not enough taking accountability and, practicing self-reflection to see what we can do to make it better. Instead, people want to be bigots, blame other demographics, say it's because of this, say it's because of that, but really, we all playing a part in this. When it comes to our sexuality, though, we're not a problem. And they highlight us being attracted to the same sex as a problem when there's so many straight people who are reproducing, and a lot of gay people can reproduce as well, and we do. We may not be able to do it amongst our relationship, just between us two, but we can still do it. So let's get rid of that narrative of, it's supposed to be divine energy between a woman and a man. If that was the case, we just wouldn't exist. All right, nothing is a mistake here on this earth that's being repetitively made. All right, if we wasn't meant to be, we just wouldn't be. So quit trying to play Oracle and God and tell us what we're supposed to be and who and how we're not supposed to exist and all that. If we wasn't, we wouldn't be here. You don't get to say that. Y'all too busy trying to play God's hand. All right, y'all need to know y'all's place. Understand that we are all in this together. We're not going to do anything by going against each other, talking about, trying to belittle each other and everything. Because at the end of the day, the agenda will work regardless if gay people was involved in it or not. Because simply, straight people ain't got their shit together either. So y'all need to be worried about that. Because gay people are going to exist. We need to be looked at like we need to function properly in society. We need to be accepted. We need to be allowed to, contribute to families and everything and start our own families and everything. That way the black family structure is still upheld, but black people are stuck on it having to be between a man and a woman. When you throw two women and two men in there, it messes up their bigotry. They want to feel like they're better than, because like I said, when you are taught to be oppressed, you want to oppress somebody else. It's monkey see, monkey do. It's what you know. We even love people how we were taught to love. However your parents treated you, that's how you're treating that person you're with. You just don't even know it half the time. If you grew up seeing your pops give flowers and show love to his lady, you're going to grow up and be a lover boy type shit 9 times out of 10. If you grew up watching your pops beat on women, you're gonna be a fuck boy 9 times out of 10. If you grow up seeing your mom be a hoe, you're gonna think it's cool. This is how we are conditioned as people. So if you look at it from a grand scheme, this is what they want us to do because we're doing what they did to us. Y'all just can't see that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's my opinion on that. But let's continue to go ahead and react to this video.
So before I let you go, any last words for Judge Joe Brown, and let the people know what you got going on?
So for Judge Joe Brown, I'm gonna say, man, go call your grandkids, your kids, or something. I think his wife left him already, but go call your family and just sit down with them, man. Go call your family and sit with them. And I'll just be straight up with you, man. Like, I love who I am. I am happy about who I am. But the reality is that me growing up, just like a lot of other black gay boys like me, I didn't choose to be gay. This is the way God made me. And so him attacking my father for loving me for the way that I was made doesn't make a lot of sense.
So before I let you go,
As a gay man, I genuinely do not run around looking at people like, oh, I wonder what this straight person's doing. I wonder what they do when they go into their bedroom. So it does give me pause to think about the fact that he's become so fixated on what we're doing in our bedroom. You know, maybe it's because he has some interests of his own. That's the only thing I can think of. I know that's a thing when people are hyper fixated on homosexuality and the gay community. It often is because they got something that they're fighting themselves. I don't know if that's the case with him. But you know, who knows? We are here trying to coexist and find common ground. And you do that by leading with love and understanding. You do that by actually listening and opening yourself up to be receptive of what you're going to receive. Joe Brown wasn't doing that. Joe Brown was throwing bombs for no reason. He has no interest in actually understanding our community, this world, or coexisting with other people. It doesn't sound like to me he's a very good person. You know, and I think it's important just to be a good person. Be a good person and love your neighbor. I mean, I know people like to throw religion at me a lot. And the fact is, the Bible talks about love more than anything else and tells us to love our neighbor. And so that's, you know.
so you got in contact with me over an interview I did with Judge Joe Brown, and you wanted to respond to some comments he made about you and your son, right?
Yeah, well, you know, this was his second attack against my family and my son. I responded to his first attack early on, and I didn't like that response, quite frankly. It was in the heat of the moment when I was asked and told the things he said. I didn't know he had attacked my son and me as a LGBTQ, and my son is gay, etc. And the way he said it was so venomous, I felt I had to let him know we need to talk about this man to man. So that's what I was inviting him to talk about it man to man with me, not gossiping on networks. And when he came on last time, he went even deeper.
One of the comments he made was the reason why your show lasted longer than his was you was pushing an LGBT agenda, and he refused to.
Yeah, I support anybody that's being discriminated against, whether it's black men and women, whether it's the Latino community who is being chased down now, not given due process, and whether it's the LGBT community who are discriminated against too. And of course, I have a particular reason I defend that community is because my son is gay and my brother was gay, God bless his soul. And so me having a direct, I guess you would say, a direct and personal interest in advancing anti-discrimination. I'm not advocating for the LGBT community.
One of the comments he made was the reason why your show lasted longer than his was you was pushing an LGBT agenda, and he refused.
Advocating for non-discrimination against them and treating them different than you do regular folks. So that's who I am. And it makes it even more, I become even more aggressive about it because it involves my son. And I appeal to any man that has a son. don't reject your son, man, just because he's gay. You destroy his life. You destroy your household. Because most women and mothers, they embrace their gay sons. It's the father that rejects them. And that destroys that boy's life when you reject him. And you and the mother, his mother, aren't getting along. So I'm trying to both save your son's life and secondly, mend your relationship with his mother. Because I'm sure you all are having differences. I've seen.
Okay. First, I just want to say the last part he just mentioned about usually mothers embracing their sons. This is how you know it. Our perceptions is shaped based on what we around, our environment, and our experiences. Because that is not my experience. I'm used to women being way harsher than the men. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm from, where I come up, the women are the ones who are more homophobic and biphobic than the men, because the men are more like, they have an understanding, I feel, more than women. Women have no understanding for us, like when it really comes down to it, simply because they only see men as like this macho dominant figure. And when you say you're gay or bi, they think that you're, you know, less of a man. They automatically feel like you're emasculated, which is not always the case. So that's interesting that he said that, because that is not my experience, okay? Most of the people that I know who are homophobic and biphobic are women, all right? And a lot of mothers I've known to be way harsher, because a lot of the dudes that I've dated have been single moms, and they be dealing with the shit from their mom. They dad don't even be around to give them the homophobia a lot of the time. So yeah, that's the only difference I would say. Other than that, I love everything that he said. He was right on the money. You know, don't disown your son or your daughter who's gay, because with y'all doing that is what causes us to go down the paths of not being shit. If we were to be embraced by our families, a lot of gay guys would have never went and got on drugs, went and got on, you know, became addicts of some substance or sex or whatever, because they would have felt, you know, accepted, normalized, and they didn't feel like they had to go and distract themselves to feel better about themselves. Also, that will help us contribute to the black family structure, because I feel like a lot of black families think as soon as a guy or a girl comes out gay, then that, well, especially guys, and that automatically prevents them from reproducing. The reason why a lot of gay guys never reproduce is because this is so shunned that all they think about, it causes them to be so insecure, because this is so, you know, frowned upon. It causes them to feel so less than that they don't even feel like they worthy of starting a family. In order to be a man enough to start a family and want to provide for somebody and all that, you have to be told that, well, I don't say you have to be, but a lot of people have to be told that your existence is okay, first of all. If I'm told my existence isn't okay, I'm not going to be contributing to no family. I'm going to feel like I might as well just stay out the way, not have no kids, just die old and grow and die alone. Like grow old and die alone type shit. That's why a lot of gay boys have no self-esteem. That's why they don't mind giving their ass up to niggas all quick. That's why they don't mind bouncing from one nigga to the next, because to them, this whole life is not supposed to be anyway, because they believe the shit that they was told. They're not good enough. They're not this. They're not, you know, you can't do this. You can't do that. They believe that shit. It takes for niggas like me to say, hold that thought. Fuck what y'all talking about. We can do it. We're going to do it. I've seen it happen. We're going to continue to do it. And I'm not about to allow y'all to make me feel so low that I don't do it. Because that's the only reason why niggas ain't doing it. Because they don't, you have to believe in something to do something, to make something happen. And that's basically what, you know, oppressors do. They cut off your belief system. And then that is the reason why a lot of, and when I say not shit, is meaning they don't try. They don't feel like they're worthy. They don't feel good enough. That will make you not shit, because your mind is what you believe. Your mind is that powerful. You are what you believe. You see what you believe, what you allow yourself to see. Your mind is really that powerful. I'm trying to tell you, like, if you don't believe something, it won't happen. If you believe in something, it's 9 times out of 10 going to happen because you'll manifest it. And even if it doesn't really happen, let me tell you how powerful the mind is. If it doesn't happen, you'll make yourself think it did, because that's just how powerful the mind is. All right, that's why delusions and why people have the ability to do things that animals can't, because animals operate on instinct only. Humans are the first, probably one of the only creatures in the world that has the ability of free will. So you can know something ain't right and you can manipulate yourself, or you can into whatever, man. Like straight up. That's how powerful this thing up here is on top of our shoulders, bro. Y'all have no idea. So, yes, I agree with that. If a lot of black people would have embraced their gay families, there would be a lot less dudes out here with HIV. There'd be a lot less dudes out here drugged out. There'd be a lot less dudes out here on OnlyFans. There'd be a lot less dudes, not doing shit with their life. There'll be a whole lot more gay family structures. There'll be a whole lot more blueprint for the gay family to operate. You know what I'm saying? There'll be a whole lot more, but we're going to get there. It's just that it takes for people like me and others to get us there, because a lot of people are just sheep. They go along with everything. They don't stick their neck out. They don't stand up. You know what I'm saying? It takes for people to stand up, show a difference, and show that we can have great lives. Like, y'all, I know I'm living a better life than I would if I was straight. And I know I'm living a better life than most of the people in my family and friends that are straight. All the people I know that are straight, their lives suck compared to mine. And I'm just keeping it 100. There's a few, maybe 2 or 3 of them that I can think of that's got something going for themselves. But for the most part, nah. The same thing that they call an agenda that's supposed to be working on us, it's working on them. And instead of them worrying about that, they're over here trying to blame shit and be bigots and say that it's because, gay people and we grew up without mothers and all this other shit. All right, look, I grew up in a 2-parent household and then some. I had a whole village raise me of men and women. Mainly men. And I still turned out this way. So there is no calling that. There is no forcing heteronormativity on nobody. If they're attracted to dudes, they're going to either shun it and ignore it and suppress it to please y'all, or they're going to be embracing of it and live their truth. It's one or the other. But you ain't going to never get rid of the shit. So, yeah, man. I like that Judge Joe Mathis stands up for his son. He makes sure that he represents and he got his back. This is the mode that all fathers of black gay men and bisexual men need to follow. All right? Because he's going to have a way better life. And then look, what I just said is real. His son then got married. Greg Mathis Jr. and Elliot Cooper celebrate their first wedding. So yeah, they had a first wedding anniversary. So they've been married, okay? So you see what I'm saying? When you grow up with family structures who support you, they can instill morals in you as a gay person instead of just disowning you and then you think it's okay to be a hoe. Because that's the reason why most of y'all think it's okay to be a hoe. If you had a father and a mother telling you, nope, this ain't right, even though you gay, you're going to be proper gay, you're going to be high value women, you're going to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, you need that because, well, you don't necessarily need it, but you want that because that's going to help you in your personal life more. When your people's abandon you, a lot of the reason why a lot of y'all ain't got no man is because y'all went off out here, thought that it was okay to just throw your legs up to anybody and you know, be whatever, disown all kinds of manhood and everything because you had nobody to really, you know, put you on game or help you or guide you or nothing. And because he was raised right, he done already found a husband. You know what I'm saying? He was probably not even giving his shit up like that because he was told you not to do that. I can already tell he was told not to. Because we all can relate when it comes to, just like a lot of people can relate when it comes to having a single mother, a lot of people can relate to having they pops and having, you know, mutual or a big family structure or at least both your parents in your life. It's a difference because we're taught differently, we're shown differently, and we're also instilled with confidence and shit and self-esteem differently. So that's the reason why this is mainly important. That's the main reason why this is important. For us, not acceptance and shit. It's for us morally and know how to grow and be good, productive people that just so happen to be gay or bisexual. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, y'all, that was a good one. Let me know what y'all think about that. Hit them comments up, like this video, and yeah, I'm gonna see you on the next one. Peace.
No, I don't give a fuck about what anyone say. No, I don't give a fuck about what anyone say.